wanted to talk about mental illness and alcohol. And the reason I wanted to talk about it was because at the beginning of this year, I stopped drinking alcohol completely, and that was for the first time in ever, really, for a prolonged period of time. Right, so in the last video, I explained I suffer from depression, anxiety, emotionally unstable personality disorder. I've decided to go with the more politically correct termage, or borderline personality disorder, if you prefer. And I have been very, very ill with it. And I've always been a heavy drinker. My family are all heavy drinkers. Alcohol is very, very much accepted as a part of growing up. It was always around. But I stopped at the beginning of this year. And the reason I stopped is kind of not to do with my depression. I've got a condition called rosacea, which means that my face gets very, very red and ruddy. I get big patches of red. That's another story. But I had found that as soon as I drank red wine, which was the beverage of my choice, and beer, I love beer and red wine, and Prosecco. Yeah, I quite like bourbon. Yeah, those are. Yeah, I'm not going to list all the alcohol I like. So yes, I found that when I was drinking red wine, my rosacea was flaring up. I was getting a flare up, pretty much straight away. And this was new, not the rosacea, not the drinking, but the drinking exacerbating the rosacea was new. So I would have a gulp, a big old gulp of red wine, as is my wont, and I could immediately feel like this of red flushiness occurring. And it's very painful. It's not just that it looks horrible. It's a painful thing too, uncomfortable. So I thought I would try not drinking, and I just carried on not drinking. Now, for the first 2 months, so I stopped on the 31st of December. For the first 2 months, I didn't notice any difference, not a bean, and I was really cross. Because everyone said, oh, it's a revelation, you'll feel so different. And I didn't at all. And I missed it. And I wanted to drink very, very much. But I stopped myself. Anyway, yes. So, after about 2 months, wow. It was remarkable, the difference. I absolutely felt this weight lift from my shoulders and this clarity sort of came into view, and I could suddenly see things that I had not been seeing, because my head was clear, because my thinking was clear. Yes, it was a complete revelation, and I felt properly happy. I felt joy, like belly laughing at things where before I just had wanted to kill myself. So it's quite a big change from death to laughter, but it's a good change, yeah. And at the same time, I also started to meditate, which I wanted to talk about in another video, meditation as a separate subject, because again, it's broad and it's complicated, and I'll waffle inevitably, and I want to try and condense things, and trying to edit these things is going to be a bit of a nightmare because of my rambling. Anyway, so what am I trying to say? I wrote some notes which I haven't looked at. I wish I could start again. Or we'll just cut this bit out, it doesn't matter. Anyway, yes, what I wanted to say was that stopping drinking alcohol has had an extraordinarily profound effect on my life. Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, in every conceivable way, really. And it's all been positive. There hasn't been anything negative about it, apart from perhaps feeling at social engagements. Though, to be honest, I haven't been socialising because I've been so ill with depression, and then lockdown, of course. So, but I can imagine that going somewhere where everyone is drinking and you're not is probably quite tricky. But I figure it's a small price to pay for peace of mind and happiness and confidence and all the things that I'm experiencing now. It's not easy. But I cannot speak. I can speak. I cannot think of the word. I can't overemphasize enough the effect that it's had on me and how differently I feel now. So I wanted to mention it because maybe it would help someone else. I think probably lots of people who are depressed or anxious or have mental health issues potentially have substance abuse issues too, whether that be alcohol, drugs. It's easy to get addicted to things when you're very young.
I feel under pressure now to do work. I don't know. So can't just produce
Pleasure all the time. You're looking for escapism. You're looking for something to take you out. If you, sometimes when you're very depressed, you just don't feel anything at all. You feel numb and dead inside. And of course, drinking or taking drugs makes you feel something, not necessarily something good, but it's there. You feel something. So I think it's probably a common thread, and alcohol is so socially acceptable still. I know lots of people don't drink anymore, but it's not like, injecting heroin or snorting coke, having a drink. People drink every day, and it's not a big deal. But I think that people underestimate how much of an effect that it can have on your life, how much of a detrimental effect it can have on your life. There are obvious things. Alcohol is a depressant. I don't think I need to say any more than that. It makes you feel depressed. That's a scientific fact, which I can't back up at this juncture, but I will try and find proof. But it really is. It depresses you. I think first you get drunk. Yeah, I haven't really thought this through, have I? First you get drunk and you feel quite good, and then it depresses you. It doesn't mix well with medication. I was on a lot of medication. I'm on a little bit less now than I was, and again, that's something I wanted to talk about: medication for depression and mental illness, because it's a minefield. But yeah, I'm on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication. I'm on different ones, and some of them make me drowsy. I'm on pain medication. And alcohol and those pills don't mix. It's not a case of if you drink while you're on the medication, you feel euphoric, so they don't recommend it because it's addictive. If it was, I probably wouldn't have stopped drinking. However, gone again, gone blank. Hang on. Yeah, but if you're on medication that already makes you drowsy or is tinkering with your mind, and alcohol is tinkering with your mind too, it's not a good combo, really. I mean, that's kind of obvious, I guess, that it's not a good combo. I've gone, hang on, to a budget 1 to 2. Oh dear. I don't know why I'm doing this now. I feel... Can I have a puff of my pipe? Sorry. It's okay, we'll cut this bit out, it's fine. It's if I said it like I'm doing it. I'm not even the one doing it. It's the poor man upstairs who has to deal with this car crash wreckage of a video. I made some notes, but I haven't really thought this through enough. What did I want to do? I wanted to persuade you to stop drinking. But I have a confession, and that is that I have drunk in the last few weeks. I've drunk about half a bottle of red wine one night, and it was fun, and I drank lots of water, so I didn't feel terrible the next day. Then one night I had a few beers. That was fun, I think. Hard to remember. Yeah, it was. And then another night I had probably 3/4 of a bottle of red wine, and it wasn't so fun. I could feel my old habits, or my old thought patterns coming back, the ones that make you feel terrible about life and the world and yourself and the people around you. There's a point where I turn and I become belligerent, and I can be aggressive and unpleasant, but I don't care because I'm drunk. And that's how I've lived my life. Going out, getting drunk because drinking gives me confidence, albeit false confidence. It's not, it's not from deep within me. It's a kind of fake confidence. But you don't care at that point. You just want to be able to talk to people and socialise, and that's an easy way of doing it. But I think what I failed to realise was that I could be an arsehole, and I wasn't aware of that. I'd like to think I'm more of a fun drunk than a dickhead drunk, but I couldn't stop. That was the problem. I couldn't just have one glass of wine or one beer. I have to have a whole bottle of wine or 8 beers. I probably couldn't drink 8 beers. I'd probably be passed out after 6. I'm a bit of a lightweight, but still, my point is, alcohol was a crutch for me. And I've got to this point now where I've been trying to figure out what's the best way to go. Sober, teetotal, never ever drink at all ever again. Drink in moderation. Or go back down the drunken alley of drunkenness. This is not going well. This worries me because you can't always be in the mood to vlog, but you've got to vlog anyway. I don't know why I feel so strange. I'm very tired. Maybe that's it. I don't know why I'm telling the camera this. Look, I'm tempted to press stop and then start again, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. You're not like, you must not press stop. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. I would like to be someone who drinks in moderation. I would like to be somebody who has a glass of fizz at Christmas or at a wedding or, you know, a dinner party, or have a glass of lovely wine with some really great food. I like eating, I like food, and having a really nice glass of wine with food that's enjoyable. I like it. I think a lot of people do. And that's what I'd like to be able to do. Not think about alcohol at all, it not be on my mind, and then occasionally have a drink. But that seems to be very, very difficult for me to do. Since I had a drink a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, I've been thinking about drinking a lot, and I've been really wanting to drink. It's been back in my psyche, and it had got to the point where I wasn't really thinking about it. I would have cravings, but it was surprisingly easy not to drink, which contradicts what I'm saying now, which is what I find so confusing, and I don't know what the answer is. And yeah, I've been talking about this with the man upstairs, and he thinks that moderation is the key, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I can do moderation. Can you do moderation? I envy you if you can. I stopped drinking in January, and I didn't have a drink until maybe a couple of weeks ago. So that would have been the end of November. So for nearly 11 months, I didn't have a drink. And it's had a profound effect on my state of mind and on my mental health in a wonderfully positive way, in a life-changing way. I really mean that, in a life-changing way. And it would be remiss of me not to share that. I think it's something everyone should try. If you think you have a problem with alcohol, I don't know, maybe even if you think you haven't got it, whether you think you've got a problem or not, my advice would be, if you suffer from depression or anxiety or any other mental health condition, try not drinking for a prolonged period of time. And I reckon that most people, I would say 98% of people, would feel better or different. Maybe not markedly, but for me, I think it's worth trying or doing anything not to feel depressed. And a lot of the things that you're told to do when you're depressed are almost impossible. When you're in the grips of kind of madness, you're not going to go and do aerobics at the leisure centre or go for a jog. You can't do it. You might not be able to eat well because you don't have the energy or the wherewithal or the motivation to cook properly. So you might end up eating crap. Many of the things that you need to do to try and lift yourself out of depression take a certain amount of dedication and energy. Stopping drinking, although it's hard, is passive. It's not like you've got to go and shift 50 bags of sand or something. Do you know what I mean? It's not a physical trial. Yeah, you might feel physically rubbish if you're used to alcohol. But my point is, it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm so convinced that if I was rich, I would bet depressed people, a lot of money, try not drinking and then see if it doesn't make any difference. And if it doesn't, I'll give you £1 million. I'm that convinced. No. 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 This is making me feel very awkward. It's actually making me cry now. It's not making me... I don't know why I feel upset. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I feel like a hypocrite and a fraud because I didn't drink for all those months and then I did have a drink and I feel bad about it. I feel like I've failed. I feel stupid for doing it. And I feel like I don't have a leg to stand on. Who am I to advise people what to do when I can't do it myself? It's not so much the fact that I had a drink. That's not the end of the world. It's the fact that I didn't want to stop. All those feelings came back where I just wanted to keep drinking. And I've been thinking about alcohol a lot recently now, like craving it. Anyway, it's stupid because I know that I feel better if I don't. So I just need to not. But there's this part of me that so wants to fit in and wants to be like other people who can drink at a party. Or go to the pub with friends and have a couple of pints and then you go home. I want to be like that too. I'm just feeling sorry for myself. So that's it, kids. No, I don't know. I don't know what to do really. Maybe I should... Christmas is coming up. And I think this is the first Christmas that I'll be having not drinking if I decide not to drink. Last Christmas I drank. I stopped on New Year's Eve. So this would be the first Christmas since I was a child that I wouldn't be drinking at. Words. Why words are so hard to grasp sometimes. And part of me is thinking, just drink at Christmas. It's Christmas, everyone drinks, it's fine. And then I think, no, you're slipping back down that path that you know leads to more unhappiness. So why do it? Why do it? And this is this battle. Well, this is a battle that everyone has, isn't it? I mean, people are... I really don't like this, not being able to get words out correctly, not being able to speak normally. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I should drink or not drink. Answers on a postcard, please. I think the majority of people say, stay away from the alcohol. You're obviously unhinged. Even not on the alcohol, which is, that's a fair assessment. I am unhinged. And the alcohol increases the unhinging of my hinges. which are already rusty and loose as it is. It's not that hard not to drink. What am I talking about? This is utter... Not drinking has had a profoundly positive effect on my life. I am much happier when I don't drink. I'm much calmer. I look better. That's the other thing. When I don't drink, my skin looks better and my eyes look brighter and my weight stays down a bit. I prefer being slimmer than being, big, which I've been both, and I just feel more comfortable when I'm a bit slimmer. So that's a very vain thing, thinking about how alcohol affects the way you look. But if you're depressed or have mental health issues or are anxious, for me it's kind of inevitable that there will be a degree of low self-esteem, low self-confidence. Depression is very clever and powerful, and it doesn't make you hate yourself, but it's like this voice that tells you that you're worthless. You're worthless. I mean, I can't say any fairer than that, really. So if you already hate yourself and think that you're worthless, looking and feeling bad on top of that because of drinking alcohol, it's just stupid, isn't it? It's not stupid. Sorry, it's not stupid. But you can see why it's a good idea not to. Because if you look and feel better, that's going to bring you up a little bit. Whereas if you already feel shit, and then you drink, you feel more shit, you're stuck in this vicious circle of shitness. That's the circle of shitness. I thought I had the answer, but I don't have the answer. My advice is, if you're depressed, don't drink alcohol. I could have just said that, couldn't I? Shortest YouTube in history. Hello, if you're depressed, don't drink alcohol. Goodbye. Job done. Finito, benito. Good, right. Fabulous. I finished because I don't have anything else to say. I don't have anything else to say.